So this is where we left off last time, yesterday. Let me resize it. Why is it not responding? Yeah, live. Okay. There's some delay in that. That's fine. So the first thing we need to do now is to add the functionality of making sure that we can edit or delete the existing posts. So right now we can clearly add the post using this editor option. However, if someone makes creates a post by mistake, or there are some edits you want to make, there is no really option other than like keeping the data same and rewriting the form again. Like you can do that, like add the title, same title again, fill the metadata as it is, then rewrite the body again. But that is not a convenient way to do that. We can, like, let's say the post was already added. Okay, so there is one more consideration to make. So let's discuss this in detail. So the first thing is edit the post. So that could have two things. Like it could have two scenarios. Like the first one will be the post is already live on the, or I should say already published on the web page, and the other is the post could, like, a post is created but not deployed or published on the web page, that is only present in the DB, will be later picked by the cron job. So the first one is the happy state, like it is very easy to implement, right? We can uh, see over here. So if there is a post which you want to edit, we can add a edit option. This will open up the current post into an editor form, which will pre-fill the values of title, the metadata, uh, dates and all, then the actual content. So that is one case, the ideal case. But the other thing, we can do it, however that will be a little tricky. So this one, uh, like, where could we reference it from? That is a little tricky. Post is created, so we can think about it as like a queue. not a queue, but um, like that could be little hard, because not hard, but very fidgety, because let's say you are, so let's say the cron job runs every um, 15th minute of the hour. Okay, and so right now the time is 15:22. Okay, so let's say the cron job runs at 15:30, like 30th minute of every hour. So it will run at 15:30, 16:30, and so on. And it has already ran at 14:30. So let's say now you want to edit the post before it gets saved or published onto the web page. But the thing is, it is not a two-way syncing. It's just one-time sync, right? So the cron job takes in every uh, posts which have been edited in the past 1 hour and updates accordingly to the title or the slug. Not even the slug, the posted dir and so on, the title as well. So in that case, if the title is changed, we will create a new entry. That is a little tricky. So let's say you now have cron job scheduled at 15:30, but you edited the post. That will be fine. But let's say there was you started the editing at 15:29 and the cron job got started and it published that article. At that point, it will have the stale content and not the latest content you will have been editing, because you have not saved it yet to the database. So okay, so let me write it clearly. So there could be, so now here we can have edits before the sync happens. That is again a good thing. It's a very relatively straightforward thing. You edit the post before the cron job runs in. However, there would be the second case which I'm not sure about how to implement, which will be the post got published, but you are still editing. In that case, there could be two conditions. Title is changed, title can change, content can change. Even the metadata can change. The content can change, that is not an issue, right? That is not a big thing, so we can skip this. Title, however, we need to think about it, because if you see in syncdb.co, here we take, I think, the title, if I'm not wrong, post dir and the slug. Okay, so if it has slug, then it is fine, but if it doesn't have slug, we slugify the title. Okay, so usually the post won't have the slug and it will take into account the title, which will be quite hard, because at that point the previous title will be discarded. Those are, I think, edge cases, but ideally it should do that. Okay, so how to think about it? So here we can clearly see that relying on title and the metadata could cause issues. Like in that case, if there's a duplicate entry, the user can always delete that post. However, that could be not ideal. There's lots of function involved in that. So title and metadata. Okay, these are very crucial things when it comes to a static site blog. And I think since it's a static site generated blog, those kind of things are not like those are not the core things to worry about, correct? Because there's no intuitive way to delete or overwrite that post, because that title is, it could be completely different. We cannot fuzzily search the title and try to replace that post. So I don't think that is correct. So maybe we can add one option, which is in the, so if, okay, so let's clearly write it down. So in this case, the post got published, but you are still editing. That is fine, but after the save happens, that is, user submits the form, so we can now show the user that the in the last sync these many, sorry, I didn't write it. Yeah, so show the user why it is, so the user that in the last sync or last sync update, these many posts were published. Do you want to replace one of them? So in that case, what we can do is, in the cloud function, before we submit the form, that is, call the DB query to post this content, post the post. That's not the right one. Create the post. Before that, we will revert to the front end, that revert to the user, that these are the posts that were added in the last hour whenever the sync happened. So are there any one of these that you are trying to replace? That is one intuitive thing. I clearly think that if there are none, just create a new one. But if the title, if the user selects one post, just clearly replace all the contents from that. Or if in, okay, so edits before the sync happens. This is where we clearly reference that this was the post the user has edited. We can edit that post, whatever the user has edited. But in this case, the user has changed a lot of things which we are using to refer back to update that post. I hope that makes sense. So in this case, we will clearly ask the user that in the last update, these were the posts that were added or published, edited. Now, from these few posts, do you want to update any of them? And if it selects one of the posts, we replace entirely that post. However, if user doesn't select any post, we create the new post, however that is. So that looks a little complicated, but it's quite intuitive. Like, if this is a static site generation, we don't have a clear sync between what the user writes and what is actually on the in the page. However, there are some quirks that we have added, a layer on top of the static site that will make the user's created post sync with the web page. So those complexities will definitely get added when you're trying to do that. So I think that is okay for now. Yeah, this looks good to me. Yeah, I think we'll go with that flow. So this is how the CMS, the content management, will change. So this is the edit part. Okay, so edit part is thought through. Now let's go to delete the post, which should be quite straightforward. Just create a delete button. I'm a little skeptical on that because showing that delete button and edit buttons, or even the editor button, right, on yeah, right, like even the normal readers of the blog will be saying this, which is okay, but not quite there. What if we do /admin? Okay, like if we add an admin, then the user will see this web page as an admin of the blog and not as a user. So we'll clearly separate the blog from the CMS. Yeah, let's do that. Enough of talking. Let's do and get started with it. Okay, so let's go into blog. Okay, so here we are in the main site of the systems. So I think I added one post last night. Yeah, fiction is necessary in our lives. This one was just a random thought about an or a link post of my thoughts around it. Let's get village into it. Polite cacao. Okay. So first things, let's separate the editor, sorry, the CMS from the actual site. Okay, so for that we can so we are doing this plugin things, right? So let's create one more plugin, calling it admin type admin plugin name string. Yep, this is boilerplate code. There's no harm in allowing LLM to take over. Yeah, I don't want this. I know what I'm doing. So admin plugin, what we want to do, we take everything that is there right now in the output dir and paste it to slash admin. Simple. Let's maybe take it a little up, paste it here. So this is index plugin. However, there was copy static files plugin. We'll take every, okay, no. Oh wait, yeah, we can use this. So we are copying everything in from the output dir and taking it to config.blog admin dir. Now let's go ahead and create a variable or a config for admin dir. Admin dir will be admin, and oh, okay, how will we route that for a specific template? Let's see about that. Okay, let's first add it here. Input dir, admin dir. Okay, so now admin dir is created. So first we need to make sure admin dir exists, or let's create it. Okay, let's see if at least that works. Go run main.go. Should have been dev. Let's go into localhost / admin. Okay, not yet. Oh yeah, we have not registered the plugin. So we definitely need to add it into the list of plugins. Yeah, I named it admin, right? Did I name that plugin admin? Where do we? Oh yeah, okay. Those are the like system level plugins, so that should not be an issue. Case admin, and that hopefully should. Okay, no errors. The plugin ran. The admin plugin ran. And here we'll see /admin. Okay, not yet. Public has no admin plugin. Why though? So, oh sorry, it created a admin folder. Oh, interesting. So the copy, I don't think it will copy all the files and folders, will it? Let's see. Oh, the public has admin in it. Let's ask GPT. What? looks like we need to modify the copy function a little bit, or maybe we'll create a separate function for copy dirs. So in here we called copy, it's called copy custom, and let's get it into it. Okay, at least it is there right now. It's empty, however. So let's see what custom copy does. So for each file in the source file, oh wait, walk and list files will skip anything inside the admin source file. So at that point I believe there will be at least all the folders and files created in the source files. So let's do a len of source files, len. So source files, it is 252. Maybe, yeah, it has everything almost. However, it doesn't copy that to the file path. Maybe we are passing. Oh, damn it. We are creating a separate folder called admin and populating it there. Bad. There we go. Oh, that will work. It's not quite working because I mean oh, that is okay. Just copying that won't work because you like that will require rendering of all the templates. Date realization. So right now I realized it late that we need to, so here it is fine, but if we go to slash admin, we need to re-render the templates out in order to have this editor from enabled and have that edit and delete button in every post. Okay, which means we need to run each and every plugin just like we did for the post. Damn. So here it will just register the plugin. We need to run it here, or not even register the plugin, I think just run that, right? So let's do this. Okay, take this everything and run it again. And then reset it here again. However, we need to pass few things in the execute, or rather in the SSG config. So SSG config has what? Admin post, admin mode. Yeah. So it will be by default as false. We can set it ahead here as ssg dot config dot admin mode as true, and yeah, here just register the admin plugin, then execute it. Or actually, then again ssg set that. So that is on the config side. Let's see what we will do here. The feeds, we don't have that. However, I think we have it here. Yeah. So here we want a condition if dot config. Okay, we have config, so we should have admin mode. Just end it, right? Am I right there? So at least, okay, now we don't have an theme button. Here as well we have removed that. So in the slash admin we should have it. However, it's not there. What is that? Show config. It is set to true explicitly here. So let's see. what that value is. Config.admin, right? If you say that it is there, then fine, we'll debug it. Config is not defined. Oh, sorry. It says false. Interesting. How can you say that false, man? It is explicitly set as true. Hmm. Let's once test that. Still false. Is it messing up with this? I don't think. No. So let's see where the issue lies. Oh, you know what? Since we are copying from there, it will override that. Oh, okay, I know what is the solution for this. We don't need this. Got him. Sorry. Variables. Yeah. So here we don't need this. Admin DR, we definitely do need that. However, here ssg dot config dot output dir will be ssg dot config dot, yeah, no wait, it will be, yep, or no, path dot join, or come on, you get half the contents and not the other half. Kind of weird, but it works. Maybe. That is it. If I am correct, I need to change this since it is already that. We can ignore this. Yeah. I don't think we need to do this more. So let's skip this entirety. Admin plugin is just wrapper. Okay. admin mode. Yeah, I think we need admin mode. Yeah, we need admin mode. Sadly, we need it. Where we need it is this point. Okay, that at least runs without errors. Oh, so in public, we do have correctly populated values. So why is it? It doesn't have an index.html. It's still false somehow. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what is the issue. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, this is. Just hold on there. And what else? Right here. Okay, still false. Surprise, surprise. How is it false? Config. So the admin index.html still false. What have we messed up? Okay, so what do we do here? We first create a output dir which will copy the original output dir and then set the admin mode as true. Then change the config's output dir to output dir plus the admin dir and use that output dir throughout all the plugins to read the post render templates and stuff like that. And we execute all the plugins. We register admin plugin, it's not doing anything. Then just to confirm, it just does nothing. Okay, then execute the admin plugin, does nothing. Then revert the config output dir to original output dir. And yeah, so with that thing. But the problem arises when we are running everything twice, which should not be an issue. Once it is done for the output dir, the other thing is done for output dir plus the admin dir. And here it is saying that admin mode is false, which means two things. Either we are passing the wrong thing or it is not passed at all. Set it to true here and just print it admin mode, and so where this will be used is probably, so it's index, right? Okay, it will be right here, correct? Oh, SSD config has admin mode, right? We are not passing half of the things there. Kind of wonky, but let's see. So here it will be false, that's fine. There we go. Okay, no wipe coding. Admin mode. Let's remove the locks. So we need to change it here, and I think it will be, let's do something like this in the post as well, where we'll say that you can edit the post. So let's give it div class. Cut it now. I want to write if dot config dot, we will have that, right? Or dollar dot config dot admin mode, yeah, yes, top bubble, something like this. Let's remove this now. So instead of the edit, we can have a editor with params as, yeah, so far so good. Edit and delete. For delete, what can we do? Why is outside that? Okay. Let's see. So let's go to our posts. Okay, we are not passing it. Let's see. Render templates. Not yet. Let's see. Wherever I can see, I just honestly speaking. Not yet. Is the right template. Somehow it is false. How? So if that is false, which can mean two things again. We are passing the wrong thing. So it's not in index plugin, it's in either create feeds plugin, which is not the case, which is probably in the render template plugin. Config. Yep, here we are passing the admin mode. So it should be somewhere here that we are messing it up. Render template plugin. It makes it a little easier to debug. I mean it's true. Okay, so if it is true here, it should be false in the other one. Yeah, okay, which means it is working fine. However, here we are getting it wrong. If it is the case, I'm wondering which is the safe condition where this has end. So let's backtrack a little. This is for this. There is no end for this. Okay, probably for this should end here. But anyways, it has a series, so not sure. Oh, okay, we are in the wrong series. Why it's not visible? Is it? Maybe it was wrongly kept there. Okay, at least it's visible. Not visible, but it's there. Something to do with this editor. Yeah, let's copy this and edit right here. Should fix it. There we go. The colors I will change it, but it's working. That is more than enough. What else? Then I mean, definitely we need to manually add that admin, or let's see what we can do here. If it is admin mode, inside of the field, you might want to do that right here. So if we are inside a range, so let's do a dot config dot admin mode. If that is the case, then oh wait, prefix URL. No, not prefix URL. It should be admin dir, not editor. And the slug should be that, and we are also end it here. Okay. So that hopefully should fix that. Let's see. Maybe inside of here as well we need to do that. Pretty smart. Not yet. So if it's an DLR, are we passing this? At least it's there here. Maybe in the blog config. Should be there at least, right? Since I render template, we also need it in the feed template, but I've already added that. So config.blog will have the admin there. Fine. So what's the issue? Oh, sorry, I was in the wrong thing. There we go. Right. Okay. Fine. That is working as expected. Now we go into the crux of it, which is to change the netlify cloud functions. So here we need a few things. Right now we can make 3 requests: create, edit, and delete. Create kept as it is. Edit will receive the title, sorry, will receive everything, but importantly what we'll use to reference is the slug. If the slug exists in that particular post dir, then this is a little tricky to use, because once we have the slug, it's not a complete slug, it's just a slug of that post type. Okay, so I'm forgetting things. Since we are editing the post type will already be assigned. So we can take that help of it. We need to pass it from there itself. Okay, that is sorted. Then yeah, we just update it as usual. For delete, again we'll take the existing post type, the slug, existing slug, and delete it. So that will be that. Okay, so that will require a lot of changes in syncdb depending on what happened. Oh, that will be tricky. Okay, this is we need to add one more column called deleted. Why? Because otherwise how will you delete the post? So what we are doing is we are soft deleting this post, which I don't think it's a bad idea. You can hard delete it manually from the database. But let's say we have just deleted it, and we can run a simple query to just delete all the posts which are soft deleted. That is not a big deal, and it anyways won't have much data in it. Like, it is not significant, right? You can cater to that condition as well, but for now I'm soft deleting it and not deleting it hardware. Okay, so that will be that. Default as 0. I wonder how we can this is not the first time I saw the YouTube chat. Because nothing is there in there right now. Okay, back to it. Let's start with delete first, edit first, because edit is a little complicated, as you saw from this diagram. Okay. First, just cater to the conditions which are quite simple. Edit happens before the sync happens. Or I should say, the post is already published on the web page. So there's nothing to do with syncing it right now because it's already there. You are trying to edit it. Okay. Let me think first before coding it. We are sending a get. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we are doing everything with the editor, which is a wrong thing. We need to send a crowd function request here itself to return the editor page with the pre-filled values for the title and all the values. So in that case, we will click the button and this will trigger an HTTPX GET request. I don't think GET request with HTTP HTMX has caused issues. I highly think that is not the case. But if that is the case, then losing other options. Okay. Okay. So first let's write virtual API, which will be here itself. We have checking if it is a checks request. Instead, we need to now check if the request dot um, queries. I think we are doing too much of things here. Okay, once we have that, we'll call var query params, which will be, yeah, it could be that you don't want that is fine. Actually, let's not do it that way. Let's make it to our nil termination errors. So that is one thing. Request dot queries to parameters, and this way we'll call it the method. If it's edit, let's see what it has given. Queries dot, we don't have a query here. um Users plugin. Wait, how did where did this queries comes from? SQL FSG new. Okay. Oh, okay. This is a blank package. You can add it here with the name of get post by ID. Nope, we are not storing the ID. We will call get post by slug. Slug type. Are we storing the post type? could have many, a slug could be many. Now the issue is to, let's make it grouped. The issue would arise when you do not so here we need query start. So now let's SQLC generate CD plugins. Okay. Okay, now there will be one thing which will be to map. So for how to do this, if we don't have a type, right? We won't have a type, we will have metadata. No, this is a text. We need to sort of get it into a format and do that accordingly. It will be tricky, but doable. Okay, so what have we done here is metadata object. We converted the metadata raw string from database to object, or we can say JSON like structure. Once that is that, we get the type from that metadata object and compare it to post type. If that is the post type, then we we need to break it. We found like the actual post that we want to edit. Now this is just for sending the pre-filled form to the front end and let the user edit it. Okay. So we will have one more condition here, which will be if request dot http method will be get http dot method get. This is the case, then do this. Right, else if okay, I'm a little confused now here. Stop, that's down. So we need it. So what we want to send out back from this is little trickery. Like once we have found this, we need to return the payload, not in JSON, because that is not how it will work. We need to load in the editor template and fill in the values which are there in this. Okay. Let's see. Here we have added a template. Let's copy it and use it here. You can use it, right? I suppose. I think we cannot do that. In Netlify functions, I tried to get that into reading a file, but it was not able to do it for some reasons. So we have to go the hard way. Oh, no, wait. Wait. So we had try to use it somewhere. Yep, this one. Oh, it is from there. So we did not use it here. Looks like we did not. Yeah, we have not used schema.sql anywhere here. So let's, to be safe, I don't want to copy this entire thing, just form elements. I'm thinking how to do this title will be as it is. Need to pass the value here as the data. We need to change this because this will be a key value pair and not just a string. We change that later on. For now it's fine. Okay, text area. Does it really have a value or not? Placeholder. Is it here or does it have a value? I'm not sure. Let's copy both of them. Username and password will be sent there from the user. Now template will be that looks right to me, at least for the get request. And this will be yeah, this will be for the post that is actually sending that as a post request. So we need to make a few changes there as well. But for now it is fine. I think I'm gonna leave it here for today, because this requires a little bit of lot of time to complete the entirety, and I have a few things to do today, so related to video content, so I need to stop it right here. We'll be seeing next week, so thanks, bye for now.